The story of Pinocchio. Once upon a time, there was a piece of wood. It was not fine wood, the kind that is used to make toys or furniture for the sitting room. It was a cheap kind of wood, good to be burned in the fireplace. Old Gifito, who worked as a carpenter, was very poor and did not have any better wood than that to make the puppet that he wanted so much. So, instead of using that log for making fire, he began to carve it with a chisel and lots of patience. From the log slowly emerged a round little head, some wavy hair, a pointy little nose, and a delightful mouth. Then, with the finish of his brushes, Gifito painted two big curious eyes and a pair of eyebrows that looked a bit surprised. When he had finished, Gepetto rested his puppet on a shelf and said admiringly, "I've done a really good job. I call him Pinocchio." And because he did not have children, Gepetto sighed, "Oh, would not it be nice if he was a real boy?" Gepetto was a man as good as gold, and the Blue Fairy decided he deserved to have his wish come true. In the middle of the night, while he was fast asleep, the fairy appeared in his house, and with her magic wand, she gave life to Pinocchio. Then she revealed to him, "If you will be obedient, generous, and brave, you will become a real boy." "Yes, Fairy, I'll be very good," promised Pinocchio. The next day, Gepetto almost fainted when he saw Pinocchio skipping around the house. "Dad, I want to go to school," said the puppet in a silvery high voice that sounded like a little bell's. Gepetto hugged him with teary eyes and said, "Of course, my boy." As he did not have a single penny in his pocket, he rushed to sell his one and only coat to buy school books for Pinocchio. The next day, Pinocchio sold his school books and brought a ticket for a puppet show. He had a lot of fun there. Mangafoco, the puppeteer, was impressed with Pinocchio and wanted to take him in the show. Pinocchio started to cry, saying he wanted to get back home. Magica Poco, who had a scary look but a good heart, decided to give him some golden coins and set him free. Soon after, Pinocchio bumped into the two well-known swindlers, the cat and the fox. "Bury your coins in the field of miracles, and tomorrow you'll find a big tree packed with coins," said the two thieves. "Pinocchio, go back home," said Pinocchio conscience, but he did not listen. He fell for the trick and set off with the cat and the fox. All sudden, they grabbed Pinocchio and took away his gold coins. Then they tied him to a branch and left him dangling there. Luckily, the Blue Fairy came to the rescue and took the puppet to her home. Pinocchio told the fairy all about his misadventures, but each time he said something that was not true, his nose grew a little bit, and he told so many tales that in no time his nose has reached across the room. However, the fairy forgave Pinocchio when he said sorry. She told him never to tell lies and sent him home. On his way home, Pinocchio met Candle Twig, who brought him to Thailand. Here they had a great time, but there was one little problem, little boy. Little, they were turning into donkeys. One day, Pinocchio was sold to a drum maker who wanted his skin to make a drum. To escape his new master, Pinocchio jumped into the sea from a high cliff. As soon as he touched the water, he was swallowed by the huge whale. Inside the belly of the whale, Pinocchio found his dad, who had been looking for him everywhere. Pinocchio and Geppetto used the last of their candles to light up a great big fire in the throat of the whale, hoping that it would sneeze. And it did. so they both managed to escape. As soon as Pinocchio and Geppetto were home, the blue fairy appeared, and as a reward for his good heart, turned the puppet into a real boy. And Pinocchio and her dad live a happily ever after. The end.